Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Kyushu University Forum, KYUDAI now in Nguyen. My name is Nguyen. I am working in Kyushu University Honor Office, and I am pleased to serve as one of today's master of the ceremony. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon in Nguyen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Nguyen KYUDAI now. My name is Nguyen. I am from Vietnam. I am Secretary of Vietnam Association of Kyushu University Alumni, and also committee member of Vietnam Association of Japan Alumni. It is my great honor to serve as master ceremonies today, together with Mr. and Mrs. Thủy. We sincerely appreciate your presence at this forum. Welcome.
KYUDAI now Nguyen consists of two main parts. First, we will hold a symposium introducing current research and academic activities at Kyushu University. After the symposium, we will host a dinner reception starting at 6 p.m., which will provide an opportunity to further strengthen ties between Kyushu University and our friends and partners in Vietnam.
And now, as the first part of the opening session, I would like to invite Professor Harata Akira, Deputy Director General of Kyushu University Institute for Asian and Oceanian Studies, to deliver the welcome remarks. Professor Harata, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for gathering today here. I am truly delighted to welcome you all to this special gathering. It's wonderful to see so many faces at today's Kyushu University Forum, KYUDAI now in Taiwan, Vietnam. I'm Akira Harata, the Deputy Director General of Q-AOS, Kyushu University Institute for Asian and Oceanian Studies. I'm Executive Assistant to the President of Kyushu University, in charge as lifelong education to researchers and students and alumni and everyone who are interested in Kyushu University. I'd like to express our sincere gratitude to everyone who made this event possible, as well as to those who contributed to its realization. And thanks a lot for taking time to be here to join the third KYUDAI now in Vietnam. It's a great pleasure to have this opportunity to talking about ongoing and future collaboration between Vietnam and Japan. Here, I'd like to express our sincere gratitude to the honored guest, Professor Dr. Nguyen Phan, Rector, Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry. We also extend our heartfelt thanks to all of today's speakers and to the alumni who helped make this event possible. In particular, I'd like to express my deep gratitude to Dr. Zong Ban Tao, Director of Department of Science, Technology and External Affairs, Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry, and former president of Vietnamese Youth and Student Association in Fukuoka, Japan. Today now has three objectives. First, to introduce cutting-edge research by active researchers. Second, to build new collaborative relationships. And third, to renew old friendships. We hope this event will yield fruitful outcomes for all. This afternoon, cutting-edge scientific presentation will be held. The first session will focus on multidisciplinary information science, while second session, after COVID break and poster presentation, will cover medicine, engineering, and innovation. We encourage all participants to take full advantage of this opportunity. Questions and research proposals are also welcome. Tonight's reception also provides an excellent opportunity for networking. Finally, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude once again to all attendees. I hope this event will be meaningful and serve a catalyst for new collaborations. That is all for my opening remarks. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Harada, for your warm and inspiring welcome remarks.
Today, we are deeply honored to welcome distinguished guests who have kindly joined us despite their busy schedule. First, it is our great pleasure to invite Associate Professor Dr. Nguyen, Rector, Nguyen University of Agriculture and Forestry, to deliver his opening remarks. Professor Nguyen, please.
Professor Cindy Suzy, Vice President of Kyushu University. Professor Alumni Sini, Vice President of Kyushu University. Professor Hatata Akita, Deputy Director General of Kyushu University Institute for Asia and Oceanic Studies. Associate Professor Phùng Trung Nghĩa, Vice President of Vietnamese Association of Japan Alumni. Our professor, researcher from Kyushu University, member of Vietnamese Association of Kyushu University of Alumni, our valuable guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, on behalf of Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry, it is great to honor and to warm welcome all distinguished scholars and participants to the Kyushu University Forum. KYUDAI, now Thailand, and third KYUDAI now even organized in Vietnam. We are deeply honored to host this meaningful academic forum for here in Thailand, one of the famous provinces with a ruling team. I would like to express our sincere appreciation Kyushu University participating in the Institute of Asia and Oceanic Studies for initial and organizing this important event. We also grateful acknowledgement to support from Vietnamese Vietnam Association of Kyushu University Alumni for this valuable contribution to make this forum possible. The KYUDAI Now Forum represents an excellent platform for strengthening academic exchange, promoting the inspiration, the need and cooperation and sharing techniques for research and other activity in Vietnam and Japan scholar. This topic presented today for the artificial intelligence, mathematics, modeling, and medical technology and carbon neutral energy research and innovation ecosystem is also a highly topic and meaningful topic and important role for the international cooperation and address the global challenges. Thailand University of Agriculture and Forestry has long considered international cooperation is a key strategic priority. We believe that the partnership with the leading institutions such as Kyushu University and other universities in Japan will be help to enhance research activity and research capacity and promoting the innovation and create more opportunity for student researchers and especially for the young our students. Vietnam and Japan share a strong and growing partnership building a mutual respect and long-standing friendship. Academic cooperation plays a crucial further strengthening this relationship for connecting the researcher, exchanging knowledge, and nurturing the new general and global leader. We hope that today's forum will be served as a catalyst for the new research cooperation, joint project, and academic exchange between our institutions. More important, we hope it will be continue among scholars and inspire innovation ideas for contribute to sustainable development in our region and beyond. Once again, I would like to thank Kyushu University and all partners for bringing this meaningful event in Thailand City and especially in Thailand University of Agriculture and Forestry. We wish all participants and productive inspired forum. And thank you so much and see you again in Thailand University of Agriculture and Forestry.
Thank you very much, Professor Nguyen, for your warm and encouraging remarks.
Next, I would like to invite Associate Professor Hwan Kun from the Kyushu University Institute for Asian and Oceanian Studies to give a brief presentation introducing Kyushu University and Q-AOS. Professor Hwan, please come to the stage.
Thank you very much. My name is Chen Kun from Kyushu University Institute for Asian and Oceanian Studies. It's the organization who organized this KYUDAI Now. And today I will have a brief introduction about our university and also our institute. So actually I think we have a lot of alumni members here, which means you may learn at Kyushu University. As the same as me, actually I'm also alumni of Kyushu University. I went to Japan from China 2005 and finally get my PhD in 2012. So I think there should be a lot of same generation together with me. So I think we share the same memory about Hypothetical Campus, about Kashi Kaikan, you know, and about the Yumo, just opposite to Kashi Kaikan. And I remember when I was a student, every evening I just go to Yumo to get discount food, Hana food. Yes, I think this is memories shared by all of our Ryugakse alumni. And today I'm very happy to introduce our new Kyushu University. I mean, after we learned in Hypothetical Campus, Recently, it was moved to a very brand new campus, we call Ito campus. Of course, some students, some alumni, when you are if you are a member of a faculty of engineering or faculty of like something about ocean engineering, maybe you are the first migrant to Ito campus. That means 20 years ago. So you should have the memory that at that time, Ito campus, around there's nothing. So only rice field. But now we had a lot of facilities here, including the dormitory and also the tsutaya, Starbucks, yeah, and the home center, convenience store. It's being more and more convenient. And for people who have never been to or learned at Kyushu University, maybe I want to start the introduction from Fukuoka and Kyushu. And this is a map of Japan, and you can know, actually we are quite far away from Tokyo, and it's just 1,000 kilometers. I think maybe a little bit similar to the location between Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi. And actually, the name of Kyushu University were from this Kyushu Island. So, as you know, maybe Japan consists from 4 main islands, and one is Kyushu Island. And Fukuoka City is a very beautiful city. As you know, it's a very smart city, not so many population. In the city, maybe only 1.2 or 1.3 millions. And when we talk about Fukuoka, actually there are two of the names. One is Fukuoka City, another one is Fukuoka Prefecture, which means a province in Japan. And in this Fukuoka Prefecture, there are several major cities, not only Fukuoka, but also Kyushu and Kurume and Itoshima. And I think if you are a student, you are alumni, you should have traveled several places around Fukuoka. Like in the Kyushu, the night view is very beautiful. The Fuji Garden is also very beautiful. And in Kurume cities, gourmet is very beautiful. So like yakitori and ramen, the most traditional tonkotsu ramen is the region is in Kurume. And Dazaifu City, I think maybe some of the alumni has prayed in Dazaifu City before your important examination. I did that because I went to Japan as a research student. So from research student to undergraduate with master course, there is an entrance examination. And before the examination, I just go to Dazaifu to pray to Kami-sama. Yes. And of course, the city center, the center of Fukuoka Prefecture is Fukuoka City. And this is the capital city of Fukuoka Prefecture. It's the 6th largest city in Japan. But as you know, a lot of largest cities just get together. For example, Yokohama is just beside Tokyo, Kobe is just beside Osaka. So if we talk about the metropolitan area, this is the 4th biggest metropolitan area in Japan. Just after Tokyo, Osaka, and Nagoya. And most important is most close city to Asia. So I think the positioning of the city is a gateway city to Asia. And here are some very basic data about Fukuoka City. For the city, there is a 1.6 million population. And for most of the cities, including the big cities like Nagoya and Tokyo, the population decline. But Fukuoka City, it's very lucky that Fukuoka City's population is increasing, and especially the young generation, teenagers, like new population is increasing. And for international students, there are several merits here. As the alumni members may know that comparing with Tokyo and Osaka, Fukuoka City's life expenses quite low. Including the accommodation fee, including the living fees, like the fees for food, expense for food, and for travel. And so you can see over there, the number of international students is the third city, just after Tokyo and Osaka. And from Fukuoka to Vietnam is very convenient. There are like 2 flights There's one full-service carrier, Vietnam Airlines, and one LCC, Vietjet. So if you just take 4 hours, and you can fly from Fukuoka to Hanoi directly. And maybe because of this kind of a lot of merits, actually the Vietnamese population in Fukuoka increased very amazingly. So this is a new data. I'm sorry, this is the Japanese data, but if you know katakana and you know some kanji, so this is new data from last year, and you can see in Fukuoka city, in the 1.6 million population. So actually there are 56,000 foreign people. And in this 56,000 foreign people, the first population is Nepal people, and this is also amazingly increased several years. The second, so maybe you always think that Chinese should be the most, but no, Chinese is the second. So, and the third is Vietnam. In Fukuoka city, more than 7,000 Vietnamese people living over there. They're doing a lot of things, like they provide not only knowledge, but also labor to the Japanese society. They support the Japanese society in a lot of different ways. And, okay, from now it's Kyushu University. So first I have a short video to show you. Maybe some people you have seen this before, but I'm sorry, I should show this again because this video shows the best city view of our university. Hope you can get connected with Kyushu University again. And this is basic data of our university. Our university is one of the 7 former empire universities, KYUDAI in Japanese, established more than I think 110 years ago. And we have almost 50,000 students and more than 2,000 faculty staffs. And the most amazing stuff is that our university campus is really the biggest campus over Japan. So in general area, maybe you think that Hokkaido University is bigger, but that's because they have a lot of experimental forest and field. For campus, this is a big campus over Japan. And the campus was named as Ito campus. It was integrated from several campuses. Actually, including our own campus like Hakozaki and Longpongmas. And of course, except this Ito campus, some campus just remain like the hospital campus, Maebashi campus, Ohashi campus is faculty of design, and Chikushi campus. I think maybe some of you studied in these three campus, and I just tell you that you still have your own campus over there. And for recently, it was designated as one of the 10 designated national universities in Japan. And the ranking is like this. It's almost within 200 best universities over the world. And among these 18,000 students, 13% of them are international students. And you can see we always maintain the international students in the same level, around above 2,000. And this is the international students. They are from more than 100 countries. And also the university dispatched Japanese students to more than 60 countries for exchange. And over the world, we have more than almost 300 institutes we have exchange agreements with them. And in Vietnam, mainly we have the university level MOU with the Vietnam National University Hanoi and Vietnam National University Ho Chi Minh. But the system is a little bit different. With Hanoi, we just have a very inclusive MOU. But with Ho Chi Minh, we have MOU with different universities. And we also have faculty level MOU with several universities in Vietnam, including here, Nguyen University of Agriculture and Forestry. And yes, this is like our ratio of teachers and students. That means the teacher can take good care of the student. And in the campus, our institute is located here, called Institute for Asian and Oceania Studies. This is a very new institute, maybe only just 1.5 years ago. And lastly, I just want to introduce several of our activities. For example, there is a free online seminar every week. So every Wednesday, it's lunchtime in Japan, but because here it's 2 hours earlier, so in Vietnamese from 10:10 to 10:50, every Wednesday you can join this seminar. So if you check Brown Bag Seminar, Kyushu University, you can get detailed information. And this is just we had this week. And another one is KYUDAI Now. Actually, this is the third KYUDAI Now in Vietnam. So our first KYUDAI Now in Vietnam is in Ho Chi Minh City in 2023. And the second KYUDAI Now in Vietnam is, in total, is the 12th KYUDAI Now January. So was in Ho Chi Minh last year. And I'm very happy to come here for the third KYUDAI Now. Of course, we did this series KYUDAI Now in different countries. For example, this is in Turkey, and this is in last January in Bangkok. And today, thank you very much for coming to the Taiwan KYUDAI Now. Okay, that is my introduction. Thank you very much. Please enjoy the day.
Thank you very much, Professor Nguyen. Your presentation awake us a lot of good memories from Fukuoka, and also give us a lot of features, new features of Kyushu University. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now let us begin session 1. Multidisciplinary Information Science. For our first presentation, I am pleased to introduce Associate Professor Nguyen from the Faculty of Agriculture, Kyushu University, who will present from pattern to the understanding interdisciplinary research with AI, mathematical modeling and simulations. Professor Ton, the floor is yours now.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. Thank you very much, the organizer, for organizing this excellent event. It's my pleasure to give a talk today. My name is Nguyen from the Mathematical Modeling Laboratory in the Faculty of Agriculture, Kyushu University. Today I will talk about from patterns to understanding, interdisciplinary research in AI, mathematical modeling and simulation. Before I go to the topic, let me really introduce about myself. So I belong to the mathematical modeling laboratories in the Faculty of Agriculture, and at this moment, our team has one associate professor, myself, and one visiting professor from Denmark, and we have 3 PhD students. One of them is here, and later I will introduce. And also we have 6 master students and 1 international exchange student. So the students in our lab come from different countries, from Korea, Japan, Vietnam, China, and Indonesia. So our mission is to translate complex biological and environmental systems into mathematical framework. And to do this, we combine AI, data science, and high performance simulation. So sometimes we create practical solutions to academic industry collaboration. So if you want to know more about our laboratory, please visit this website to open our lab. And at this moment, so I also recruiting more Vietnamese students. So we will know any silent student is introduced our lab. Yes, we have 7 scholarships that the student can apply. So we are using mathematics and AI to study many problems. Here I list some examples. The first one is the ecosystem dynamic. So this is one of the topics I will introduce here. So later I will talk more about it. And the second one, the fish schooling or school behavior. So this is a school of fish. And we are creating the new some mathematical model to simulate this phenomenon. So how they make the group, how they move, and even with a very high speed, but without collision. Right? So for that we are using the so-called stochastic differential equation that is one field in mathematics. Because I think we will not care about the field, so I'm not sure. And this kind of research can apply in for the movement of the robot. And another one is the bioacoustic problem. So you see here this picture, it shows the sound of bird, and we want to make the classification. So when we hear the sound of bird, general people will be impossible to know the kind of the bird, the species of the bird. But even I think, even with the people, it is very difficult to make the classification. But what we are creating some new AI model. We are take for this classification. And the next one is the weather prediction. So in campus, our lab has the station, the mobile weather station here, and we put that in the south gate of campus, and we collect the weather information. In this, by using that data, we can construct some new some mathematical models, and also using AI for the predictions. So the next one, another example is the stock price or financial system. So there are new data that we can use to construct some model for the prediction. For example, if it is the S&P 500 numerator that index in the USA. So in Japan we have Nikkei 225, and in Vietnam we might have VN 30, right? Some index. So we are using mathematical model and also AI to make the prediction for some kind of problem. And actually, I already made some app. So if you have iPhone, so you can find my app with Apple Store. And it is free. It is free, so you can print some free. However, please do not invest by using my app. Okay, I don't want you to lose money. However, you can use that for different. You make the prediction and you can use that information for prediction for different. So here is an app about NLP available in Apple Store. And another one is about mass agriculture. So last year we went to Lab coffee in Vietnam and we collect the information about the coffee. So this one is also one of the topic today. However, I will not talk about that. My student, PhD student, he had the poster over there. So later we come and ask him questions about coffee. Okay, so another example. This morning I went to a company, Sun company, and to take some sample about the tea, Vietnamese tea that they want to pioneer. So now we have some idea to make contract some AI model for very exciting product we can use. So maybe in the future we can have something to report in this. Okay, so today I will tell you about the ecosystem dynamics under environmental stress. So even the see how mathematical model and AI review hidden coexistence mechanisms. And the second topic, how AI listens. So by this it is understanding sound to deep learning and digital finger screen. So this year I work with my PhD and another PhD student, some from China. And also I work with Professor Nguyen and Professor Lim from Kyushu University. So I think later Professor Lim will give a lecture about material. And also with Professor Natalie from Australia. The third topic is coffee production mapping in Vietnam. It is I work with here we are using satellite data and machine learning. And here I work with Rickson, and Professor Hawkins from Denmark, Australia, and from Vietnam National University of Agriculture. So, but in one, you can see the content with the poster over there. So here is the first part. Ecosystem dynamic under environmental stress. So bio ecosystem face multiple interacting stressors. Third one is climate change. The second one is environmental pollution. And the third one is something about face uneven resources. So here we are considering the population of several species living together in one area, but under the effect of factors. So we want to know whether they are about the persistent or coexistent species. And the key question is how to competitive species persist and organize in some complex environments. So here is the whole story, the whole picture of our research about this topic. So we consider an area in which there are several species living, like the lion or the buffalo, and so on. But in that area there are some pollution sources, and also there are some local resources. It means that they are good over there. Nowadays, under the effect of El Nino, the temperature also changes. So So we consider the temperature of radio also. And our aim is to input all information into a so-called reaction diffusion model. Reaction diffusion model is not a set of many partial different equations. Okay? So of course we study the model mathematically. I mean we create some theory or something like that. The master structure is our idea. So we do simulation. Simulation with the dominant area of each species. And also we study about the boundary of each species and the cluster. So after that, but when we apply the model, it is a set of many equations. So when we apply, we want to apply to the real problem. We have to estimate the parameters, but even in statistics, there are many parameters and get based on the data. So how can we do that? Actually, to estimate the parameter, it is very, it's part of the, by using traditional method, you have to collect as many as possible the data, right? But for such kind of problem, you will have to do that. So our idea is to provide a hybrid AI different color. It means that we are using both the mathematical model to generate the data, and also we are using using the data. Then we are using the data for AI aspect, and by that we can estimate the parameter. So then we understand the whole picture, the dynamic of the situation. So here is a model. This is a set of many equations. Here we have considered and species of one of the equation, and there are many terms here. So one of the important terms here is the name KI. KI is environmental carrying capacity. And to integrate the factors that I mentioned before, the pollution, temperature, resources, or the cooperation, we consider KI as a function of the temperature, PPRC. Not PPRC also satisfy another set of equations. So we have an equation here. So in simulation, we suppose that, for example here, we suppose that there are two pollution sources. At the beginning, there are no pollution. But in time, the pollution, the level of the pollution increases, and the higher the color here, the higher the pollution. Also, the temperature and also the tree resources in the region. So here is one output. At the beginning, you see the first species and the second species living everywhere in the domain. But in time, they are moving, and then go to a stable state. So the key observation is that the species segregate into the several domains, and we show that we see that the boundary becomes stable. So the challenge, yes, so this is the simulation. We are using simulation only. By using Python, we can do that. But when applied to the model, so we thank you. But I think thank you, Sakura. But I think we start from 210. 210, so I have more time. Right? So the challenge is by using the AI model. I think I have 10 minutes, right? Because we start from 210. But anyway, I will go. So here is the AI model. The AI model, we are using So nowadays there are many AI architects. So for our model, we are using several common models like CNN, architect, or language model. Language model means that we can use model in the mobile phone, hybrid model, and transform model. So for that, we observe that three transform model achieve the best performance. Okay, so now I move to the second part, how AI is. The key question is how can AI understand and model complex acoustic pattern? So we are considering three problems. The first one is accent classification. I think today you talk to many people, right? You talk to Japanese professors, you talk to Japanese professors, talk to Vietnamese professors and tutors. So when you hear the voice from Japanese professors, you may guess that their mother language is Japanese, right? Or even if you hear the voice from someone, you may guess that they come from China, the USA, or other countries. So we make the AI model to make the classification of people. And at the same time, we do for the word code identification. We are considering 20 pieces. We want to make the classification of the. And the third one is the synthetic bioacoustic generation. So synthetic bioacoustic generation means that we generate the new sound from the bird. So the idea is that AI does not analyze the raw data. Instead, it converts the sound into an image line representation. So please look at this picture. So if I ask you to make tell me something about this picture, so how can you do? You say that there are two three persons here, right? They go and in the lady is outside or something, right? That's the information you can provide. But you don't need to tell me about the chemical composition. It's element here, right? You don't need to tell me about that. AI will the same way. The same way. So it is a raw data. We consider many points, but we don't. AI cannot proceed as information. So by using some mathematical function, we can convert it into spectral. AI can understand that is the default. Okay, so English accent classification, and we consider the people come from 5 countries: the England, USA, India, Germany, and Hong Kong, and we can know their gender and also. So we make 3 new models: multi-dimensional model, PSA model, and PSA model. And we found that the last model achieved the best performance. This is the performance. And also the word code identification. So we are considering the classification from 20 pieces of word. And we found that the PSA dynamic model achieved the best performance. This is the performance of our model. Okay, so maybe I skip this one. Okay, I go to the conclusions. Today, my key message is that by using mathematics, simulation, and AI, we can study many complex real-world problems. And today, I have introduced some model in ecology, and AI for the sound, and AI and remote sensing, or agriculture. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Tom, for your insightful presentation. So now we have 5 minutes for Q&A. So if anyone has any questions to Dr. Tom, please raise your hand. Thank you. Dr. Nguyen.
Thank you. Very hot topic. I am Dr. Shimizu is a medical doctor. we have many problems in medicine. So I met ultrasound or many things. So do you have any idea to working with us to simulate about and apply AI in medicine? For example, we have a high technique about MRI. We can produce a high quality IMS for each patient. But we can have 100,000 or even more number of IMS. So of course we need for diagnosis one by one. But the problem is in Japan or Hanoi, we have more experience. Many experts can understand and identify abnormal diagnosis. But in Taiwan or the remote area, so decision is very difficult to identify and conclusion. So if you concern about applying AI in medicine, I will welcome you. I am now currently director of scientific research management of healthcare in healthcare system in Hanoi. Then before that, I am working at the Hanoi Medicine University. So I would like to hear from you for future applying AI in medicine. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So that is the problem that I really want to do in the past. But one of the problems I met sometimes that I don't have the data, don't have the image, the data. So now you have such a thing like this kind of chance to do. We can use AI to make the classification process. So we can discuss later. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Thorn, and thank you very much for Dr. Nguyen's questions. Next, we are pleased to invite Associate Professor Chuan Fei from the Faculty of Economics, Kyushu University, to deliver a presentation entitled Bitcoin and for traditional currencies during the COVID-19 pandemic periods. Professor Chu, please.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Mei Fen Chu. I'm from the Faculty of Economics, Kyushu University. Very happy to see all of you, and I feel very honored to deliver one of my research. So the topic is the Bitcoin and the four traditional currencies during the COVID-19. So firstly, I would like to mention something about the mystery of the Satoshi Nakamoto. Do you know him? Anybody hear about him? Maybe no, maybe yes. Actually, this is a very mysterious story, and from the name, maybe he is a Japanese, and somebody said maybe not he, maybe some group, he or they just laid the foundation of the Bitcoin. So they published a very famous paper, which is titled "A Peer-to-Peer Electronic Cash System." So he or they established the digital monetary system directly between the people without relying on the banks and other institutions. Why they would like to do that? Why? Because I think maybe they try to do the decentralization. You know, for the central banks, they have many rules, regulations. So somebody wouldn't like to obey the rules from the banks, right? So that's maybe the main reason for he or they trying to build this kind of new monetary system. So in 2009, the Bitcoin was established as a digital currency. So since then, there are increasing number of researchers. They try to do the analysis of the movement of the Bitcoin, or try to do analysis of the correlation between the Bitcoin and the economy. So why I try to do this kind of research? Because the main reason is during the COVID, the Bitcoin price suddenly soared up very quickly, very largely. So like this figure, we can see this figure until the end of 2000. So it seems like a line very stable, but until the end of 2020, it suddenly went up very suddenly, very largely. So that's why I try to do some research about the Bitcoin. But actually, I'm not so familiar with this kind of Bitcoin. Somebody, asked me whether, you invest in Bitcoin. I said no. I have no interest in investing in such kind of, quite risky for me. It's quite a risky asset. All right. So we just see from the March 2020 to the end of 2020, just only the 8 months, the price of the Bitcoin has been, almost tripled. So this is very huge, sudden, rapid growth of the Bitcoin price. So I searched and reviewed some researches. I found that there's a lack of studies on the Bitcoin, and the lack of the research about trying to do the correlation research between the Bitcoin and the other traditional currencies. So my contribution to this study, firstly, to my best knowledge at the time, it was the first study to employ this is very new approach, wavelength analysis. Quite new for us because I'm from the Faculty of Economics. For us, it's very rare to apply the engineering field approaches to our study. So I tried to do it to examine the relationship between the Bitcoin and other foreign traditional currencies during the COVID period. And the second, this empirical analysis is novel in the context of checking the coherence, which can be used to examine whether the Bitcoin has a hedging feature, which means can replace the current the traditional currencies. The third one, so this paper discusses the reasons for the high rising up of the Bitcoin. So maybe during the COVID, maybe people can suggest that it is from the COVID death, and suppose that my research suppose that it's not basically from the COVID death. So it might be from the quantitative easing, QE, which is the monetary policy adopted by many advanced countries, including Japan and the US and the other EU countries. Okay, for the wavelength transform analysis, actually this approach is very difficult for me. I think in the past, the Fourier transform analysis was very popular, but later the wavelength transform analysis became more popular. The reason is that this kind of approach can detect both the time and the frequency. So this is very good. But for the Fourier transform analysis, it can only detect frequency. Okay, this is the formulas. I tried to skip it. But for the S it is the scale, and the T is the time. So for the weekly analysis, we can check both the time and the frequency. So the data I use are the daily data, closing data. The data I used almost 1 year data from the beginning of 2020 to the beginning of 2021. And I collect the data from the database provided by the investment company. And for the simple analysis, so I just use the Japanese yen to express other currencies and the Bitcoin price. So I got 6 time series. So here you can see 6 data, right? Pound sterling, euro, Chinese renminbi, Bitcoin, and the US dollar, and the COVID deaths. Okay, so this is the raw data. Then I did the weekly transform analysis. So here for the figure 2, so this is the weekly analysis for the Bitcoin. So we can see it's very clear. There is not. I need to explain that if the red is very strong red, it means there is a very strong periodical. So if not, so for the left figure, the figure 2, so this is for the Bitcoin. So we cannot check a very strong periodical. So there's no periodicals detected from the period at the beginning of 2020 to the end of 2020. But from the end of 2020, we can see something changing. Okay. The second one is the data for the US dollar. So I just did the transform for the US dollar. So we can see from the beginning of the April 2020, so the red, the color was very strong. So we can see the periodical is very strong. Okay. So for the first one, it explains the Bitcoin price began to fluctuate strongly and periodically since the end of 2022. So for the second one, the results suggest that USD fluctuated intensely and periodically in April of 2022, which the COVID-19 spread to the US, started to spread to the US and all over the world. So here is the euro, the weighted transform for the euro and the pound sterling. So we can see the two figures are quite similar, but for the euro, we can see a little bit more strong in red color. So we can say for the euro, maybe more strong periodicals happen here. But the two patterns looks like very similar. And here is the transform for the Chinese renminbi, and another one is the COVID death. So these two we can see totally different. So figure 6 is the transform for Chinese renminbi, and it reviews no distinct periodical bands during the whole period, except one band. So on the left, we can see there's periodical happen, and we can see for the COVID deaths on the right. So that's happened in the beginning of 2020. Okay, I just go quickly. So here is, here is the weighted coherence analysis results. I did, compare the Bitcoin and the US dollar, Bitcoin and Euro, Bitcoin and the pound sterling, Bitcoin and the Chinese renminbi. So I found that the Bitcoin correlated with US dollar and pound sterling greater than the Euro and the Chinese renminbi. So we can see here, these two pictures show more strong, red, okay, much stronger red. So we can guess, we can suggest. So here there's a more, greater correlation between the Bitcoin with the US dollar and pound sterling rather than Euro and the Chinese renminbi. So here is the correlation and coherence of Bitcoin and the COVID deaths. So it's very clear that the Bitcoin has very strong relationship between the COVID deaths and the Bitcoin. But sometimes it shows the positive, sometimes it is negative. So it's very hard to say. So the two, Bitcoin and the COVID deaths had a very high relative. So it cannot say the COVID, the COVID affect the Bitcoin very much. So we suggest that the rapid increasing number of COVID deaths may be not the main reason for the higher price of Bitcoin. And the fluctuation of the traditional currencies may not push the Bitcoin price skyward. And the reasons why the Bitcoin soars very largely, maybe it's from the massive quantitative easing, so QE, which were launched by many countries. So Bitcoin has a close correlation with US dollar and pound sterling, but less correlation with Euro and the Chinese renminbi. And the Bitcoin, US dollar, and the pound sterling were impacted largely by the COVID pandemic. Overall, during the COVID pandemic crisis, the Bitcoin became the more important. However, it still couldn't act as a hedging currency to replace the traditional currencies. So further, the soaring of the Bitcoin may result from the government quantity easing. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for your nice presentation, Professor Chu. And now we are expecting one question from the listener.
Professor Chu, thank you so much for the presentation. Now I see how you can use mathematical tools to understand the economic problems. I want to ask the question, does the correlation, you in this study, you consider the correlation, not the causal relationship, right? We cannot say that when the death from COVID-19 increase, if we increase or reduce the price of the coin. So the correlation is a positive correlation or negative correlation if you consider linear correlation, or is some kind of very complicated non-linear correlation. What kinds of correlation you are considering here? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. A very good question. Yeah, this is a non-linear correlation. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Please again, Professor Chu. Now our third speaker is Assistant Professor Nguyen. from the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research University, who will present how can we know if stored CO2 is safe, a machine learning approach to underground monitoring. Professor Lee, please proceed.
And thank you so much for attending my presentation. Today, I would like to talk about machine learning approach to underground monitoring. The focus is on modeling of CO2 flux from the subsurface to the atmosphere. As you may know, underground CO2 storage is being developed as an important technology to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. To ensure that this technology is safe for people and the plants living on the earth, we need a reliable method to monitor the CO2 emission at the ground surface. However, this task is not straightforward because CO2 can naturally come from the surface even when there is no leakage. In this talk, I will first introduce the role of underground CO2 storage to the climate solutions. Then I will explain why detecting CO2 leakage is difficult. After that, I will show how we use machine learning to help computer recognize natural CO2 emission pattern. And finally, I will discuss how this approach can help improve monitoring and ensure safe CO2 storage. As many of you may know that greenhouse effect is one of the main reasons of global warming. Energy from the sun first passes through the atmosphere and reach to the Earth's surface. The Earth then release this energy back to the as the radiation or heat. However, the greenhouse gas in the atmosphere, such as the carbon dioxide, can absorb parts of this heat and re-emit it in different directions, as like this one. As a result, some of the heat is trapped in the atmosphere instead of escape into the space. This process makes the Earth warmer. However, when the concentration of greenhouse gas becomes too high, it can lead to global warming and climate change. One of the promising approach to reduce CO2 emission is called carbon capture, utilization and storage, or we call it CCUS. First, the CO2 is captured from very large industry sources, such as the power plant or the factories. Then this captured CO2 is transported and injected deep into the underground, into the geological formation, where it can be stored for a long time. And in some cases, CO2 can also be utilized to produce some useful product or to enhance oil recovery. By capturing and storing CO2 instead of releasing it directly into the atmosphere, CCUS can help reduce greenhouse gas emission and mitigate climate change. Although the underground CO2 storage is considered safe, there is still some potential risk of leakage. If the fracture or the rupture exists in the underground rock layer, some CO2 could migrate upward and eventually reach to the ground surface. So when the high concentration of CO2 at the surface could pose risk to the human, animal, and the plant, especially in confined area. Therefore, reliable monitoring systems are essential to ensure the safety of the CO2 storage sites. However, detecting leakage is not a straightforward problem because even under complete natural conditions, CO2 is continuously released from the soil into the atmosphere. And this happens because plants or microorganisms and the root of the tree in the soil are constantly breathing. During this process, they break down organic material and release CO2 as a natural byproduct. This process is often called the soil respiration. Because of these natural activities, large amount of CO2 naturally escape from the ground every year. In fact, the global natural CO2 flow from the soil is estimated about 1 billion metric tons per year. So, for you to easily to imagine how large this amount is, it's estimated about 1.5 to 2 times of all human emission, or it's about 10 times of emission from all the cars on the earth. So it's very large amount. Because of this large natural background, it can be very difficult to distinguish the natural CO2 emission from the CO2 that may be leakage from the storage side. To address this challenge, our idea is to first build a model that predicts the natural CO2 flow under the normal conditions. This model can then serve as a baseline if the measured CO2 emission significantly exceeds this expected value. So we may think of the potential of the CO2 leakage from our injection site, and it gives us the early warning signal if there is some potential of the CO2 leakage. Okay, because CO2 storage processes are expected to operate for many years, monitoring system must also run continuously for long periods of time. For this reason, it's important to develop monitoring methods that are not only reliable but also affordable and easy to deploy over large areas. In our study, we explored a practical solution using a chamber-based measurement methods combined with low-cost CO2 sensor. As you can see, the equipment settlement in this picture. In this method, a small chamber is placed on the ground surface to measure the amount of CO2 that escapes from the soil into the atmosphere. Using a relatively inexpensive sensor allows the monitoring system to operate continuously and potentially be alloyed at many locations. Our field experiment was conducted in Kashiwazaki City in Niigata Prefecture, Japan, where the Impact Corporation is planning a project to inject CO2 underground for enhanced oil and gas recovery. The measurement collected from this site provides the data needed to study the natural CO2 emission from the subsurface. So we conduct the experiment in a period of around 1.5 years, and we collect the soil-related measure and also the atmospheric measurement. So here we show the data that we have collected from our field experiment. The left-hand side is the data for soil-related measurement. The first one here is the CO2 flow from the soil to the atmosphere is the natural condition. during the experiment time, we have not injected CO2 into the subsurface, so the CO2 flux we have here is the CO2 flux is the natural condition. On the right hand side, we show the atmospheric measurement. By combining the measurement from the soil related and the atmospheric, we aim to construct some machine learning to describe the natural behavior of the CO2 flux. And I try to keep this because it's some kind of statistical demonstration of the collected data. And also we use a very common called linear correlation to underline the relationship between the measured data to the CO2 flux. And we can see that the soil temperature and atmospheric temperatures have a positive linear correlation with the CO2 flux, while the atmospheric pressure has a negative linear correlation with the CO2 flux, and because of this primary analysis, we believe that the measurements that we have plays very important role in order to construct the predictive model for the CO2. Okay, then maybe I will go fast through this because in this one we develop several machine learning algorithms based on different combination of our measurement data and also the public data we collect from the Japan Meteorological Agency website. This published data is free to you for everyone, and they are collected for a very long time, so we can take it freely. So we try to combine our collected data with this available data to make the machine learning model. And in here, by testing with different machine learning algorithm, we can choose the best performing algorithm which will give us the most accurate result. Okay, and here we show our best model on predicting the CO2 flux. And from the figure here, we can see that our model give us quite good prediction based on the very simple collected data. Next, we use our model to make prediction of the CO2 flux for the new data. The blue one is the training data that we use to make the model, and the red part is the data, the new data that we newly collected, and we confirm by using our trained model to make prediction on the new data, and we find that it works quite well. Because even though we see some gap here, but the results such as the model can provide a reliable estimation of the natural CO2 baseline, which is important for identifying unusual CO2 emissions that may indicate potential leakage. Okay, I skip this because it's kind of technical. And we also use several different analysis techniques in order to indicate which measure data is the most important when we want to predict the CO2 flux. And here are the results from two different analysis techniques, and they both consistently indicate the three most important features. That is the soil temperature, soil moisture, and the atmospheric pressure. Okay, and we also try to explore it, we can just use the historical data of CO2 flow to make the prediction for the CO2 flow in the future. So that if these methods work well, we can remove the measurement of some atmospheric or the soil related model. And here is the result. We can see that even though with only the historical data of the CO2 flow, we can make quite good prediction for the future. So in this, I have present the natural CO2 emission from soils follow predictable environment patterns. Machine learning can learn this pattern and estimate the normal CO2 baseline, and this baseline have identified unusual CO2 emissions that may indicate leakage, and this approach supports the safe and reliable monitoring of CO2 storage site. Thank you so much for the attention.
Thank you very much for presentation of Professor Nguyen. Anybody has a question?
Hello. CO2 storage is quite expensive. How do you want to make it financially appealing to companies to start working on that?
Okay, CO2 storage is not very expensive. The reason is because it can use to enhance oil recovery. Instead of injecting air or the water into the oil reservoir to take the oil out of the surface, we inject CO2 instead. And we know that the technology of inject some kinds of area of liquid into the subsurface is very well developed in the oil recovery technology. So this method is not very expensive because it's already developed. Yeah.
Okay, so you wanted to apply that for locations where it's already taking place, where it's locally available, so only in some areas.
Yes, we do this process with some company, and that's some kinds of they take the oils and the natural gas from the subsurface to make product. Yes, and now because when they take the oils and the gas, we have some void within the subsurface, and we can keep the CO2 safe within that place, so that we do not need to release the CO2 directly to the atmosphere. And keeping the CO2 under the subsurface is quite safe. Yeah.
Could I ask one more thing? How much do you save? You probably said it, but I would like to ask again. How much CO2 can you save with that?
Okay. So it's quite large. If I can remember well, it's 2,000. What is the unit? I forget. But a lot because besides the current reservoir of oil or natural gas in the natural rock. You know the natural rock usually have a quite large percentage of the void. So we can even inject CO2 into such void part in the natural rock, and we have the natural rock everywhere in the world. Yeah.
You have that natural rock everywhere in the world, but I thought you're only using it locally with some companies where it's available anyways.
Okay, so with this study, we aim to develop some monitoring methods to make sure that after we inject CO2 in the subsurface, we monitor if there is some leakage of the injected CO2 back to the atmosphere. Because if we inject a very large amount of CO2 and its uptake to the atmosphere, it causes damage to the human and the animal and the plant. So in this study, we just try to develop data-driven approach for monitoring system. That's kind of early warning system for the CCS system. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And we can talk further later. Any other question, please? We have about 5 minutes. If not, we will talk later.
Thank you, Dr. Ling. Thank you very much to all speakers in the session 1. We will now have a coffee break until 3:45 p.m. During the break, we invite all of you to visit our poster presentation area on my left hand over here. Please enjoy the refreshments.
Therapy, X-rays are usually used. X-rays pass through the body and reach tumor position. However, some of them are absorbed or scattered, so the intensity of the radiation gradually decreases. Because of this, normal tissue in front of the tumor receives higher dose than tumor. In addition, radiation also reaches tissue behind the tumor. Particle therapy is different. Instead of X-ray, particle therapy uses atomic nuclei. Proton therapy uses hydrogen nuclei, and the chemical therapy uses carbon nuclei. These particles travel through the body while gradually transfer their energy to the surrounding tissue. Eventually, they stop when all the energy is lost. Just before the stop, they release a large amount of energy. This is called drug peak. By adjusting the position of the drug peak to the tumor, we can concentrate a high radiation dose on the tumor. If we can align the drug peak with the tumor position, we can concentrate a high radiation dose on the tumor. This figure shows the dose distribution of X-ray therapy and heavy ion therapy for skull-based tumor. The region colored by a yellow line is that represents the tumor. In radiation therapy, beams are usually delivered from several directions to reduce damage to the surrounding tissue. The red region represents high dose area, and in both treatments, the tumor is sufficiently covered by red region. The green and blue region outside represents medium to low dose area. In heavy ion therapy, these surrounding low dose regions are smaller than X-rays. This means that the damage to surrounding normal organs, for example, in this case, brain, is reduced. The risk of side effects can reduce the dose, and the risk of side effects can be lower. This slide shows the size of different radiation therapy machines. Conventional X-ray therapy uses a linear accelerator that is only few meters long. However, proton therapy requires a larger accelerator. Its size is roughly comparable to a small room. However, once an accelerator is installed,
the proton beam can transport it to signal treatment room from the accelerator. Therefore, compared to X-ray therapy, only an additional room for the accelerator is required in proton therapy. As heavy ion therapy, carbon atom is 12 times heavier than proton. Thus, heavy ion therapy requires an even larger accelerator. It uses a ring-shaped accelerator with a diameter of about 20 meters. You can see a person in this picture here. This helps you understand how large the accelerator is. This figure shows the increase in the number of the particle therapy facilities and the number of treated patients. Although particle therapy facilities require a large investment to build, the number of facilities has been steadily increasing. The number of treated patients has also increased. Japan has many particle therapy facilities and has accumulated a large amount of clinical experience. I understand that 2 proton therapy facilities are being planned in Vietnam. When particle therapy will begin in Vietnam in the future, I hope that the experience from Japan can help us. Particle therapy is mainly used to treat solid tumor. For example, brain tumor, head and neck cancer, lung cancer, liver cancer, and other types of cancer. Particle therapy is particularly useful for tumors that are difficult to remove surgically. The tumors located deeper inside the body, and tumors that are resistant to X-rays. For many cancers, improvement in treatment outcomes and reduction in side effects have been reported. Particle therapy allows us to concentrate the radiation dose very precisely on the tumor. If the beam delivered accurately, high dose can be given only to the tumor. However, this also means that even a small positional error can cause serious problems. If the beam position shifts, the tumor may not receive enough radiation. At the same time, normal tissue may receive a high dose. As a result, the cancer may not control and serious side effects may occur. For this reason, very precise patient positioning is required in particle therapy. The first step of particle therapy is taking a CT image. Based on CT image, we decide the beam energy and beam direction to irradiate the tumor. This process is called treatment planning. In general, beams are delivered from several directions in order to reduce the side effects. For example, this is the case of lung cancer. Here is cancer. In this case, the beams are delivered from above and the left side. If we irradiate from bottom side or right side, they irradiate much larger portion of normal lung and heart. Therefore, those directions are not used. In Japan, medical physicists usually create a treatment plans. In many other countries, treatment planning is often performed by a profession named cosmetrist. The treatment plans is then reviewed and discussed together with physicians and other specialists. If metal is inside the body, CT image can show metal artifacts. Metal artifacts are distortion in CT image caused by high-density materials such as dental metals, surgical clips, or artificial joints. We calculate the range of the particle beams based on CT image. Because of this, if artifacts are present here, we cannot accurately estimate the position of the blood peak. In recent years, many methods have been proposed to reduce metal artifacts, including AI. I am studying whether these methods can help us estimate the particle beam range more accurately. Before each treatment, we must confirm the patient's position very precisely. For this purpose, X-ray images are taken from two directions before each radiation. Bones are clearly visible in X-ray images. Unlike this, the surface of the body, bones don't easily change the shape, so they are very reliable reference for positioning. In addition, bones have high density, which strongly affects the range of particle beams. Thus, bone shape and position are important. Before the positioning, we generate ideal X-ray images from cloning CT using a computer. Then we compare the virtual image with actual X-ray images and adjust the patient's position. If the patient is positioned correctly, the upper and lower images will match exactly. Experienced radiological technologists in Japan can align the patient with an accuracy of about 0.2 millimeters and 0.2 degrees. Personally, I would never be able to do that. Even a 1 millimeter error would be difficult for me to recognize. This high level of technical skill strongly supports the excellent outcomes of heavy ion therapy. Even if we align the bones very accurately, we still cannot know the exact position of the tumor. The inside of our body changes from day to day, and the tumor can move as a result. The change can be divided into intra and interfractional changes. Intrafractional changes occur during a single treatment session. As intrafractional changes, there are breathing, swallowing, and gas migration in the intestine. The left image is a motion by breathing. Interfractional changes occur between daily treatment sessions in radiotherapy. The interfractional changes include tumor growth, organ motion, bladder filling, cetabella, etc. To deal with tumor motion caused by breathing, we use a breathing sensor. The image on the left shows a breathing sensor used in particle therapy. This sensor measures the movement on the skin surface on the abdomen. The green curve of the right figure shows the detected breathing waveform. Each breathing cycle takes a few seconds. During expiration, the tumor motion is relatively stable, so we deliver the beam only during expiration, indicated by yellow color. The position of the tumor can change from day to day. In our study, the interfractional changes is sometimes more than 1 centimeter. In X-ray therapy, we can still deliver the pulse to the tumor by adjusting the beam direction to follow the tumor motion. However, in the particle therapy, we must adjust not only the beam direction, but also the beam range. For example, we make a treatment plan, align the black peak position to the tumor location. However, if the tumor moves up on the treatment day, the black peak position, we cannot irradiate the tumor. Whereas, if the beam direction changes, the beam path inside the body also change. For example, the beam may pass through bones. Bones is one of the dentist tissue. That the black peak is much shorter, and the tumor cannot receive high dose. So here is an important question: should we align the beam with bone or with tumor? We studied this program. This graph shows the target coverage in lung cancer treatment. The horizontal axis shows the tumor displacement, and the vertical axis shows the percentage of tumor receiving a high dose. The black dots represent the irradiation aligned with tumor, and white dots represent aligned with bone. When bone-based alignment was used, the tumor sometimes received insufficient dose according to the tumor motion. However, if we use alignment with tumor, the coverage maintained. Similar trends were also observed in liver cancers and pancreas cancer. Thus, based on these results, we adapted the tumor-based alignment. However, aligning beam direction with tumor is not enough. This is a CT image of pancreas cancer because the pancreas is located the center of the body. The blood beam can be delivered from all directions. However, there is a problem. The intestine is located in front of the pancreas. The intestine have sometimes gas. Gas can sometimes build up or move inside the intestine. Gas have very low density, which can significantly change the particle beam range. This means that the beam range may change from day to day. Therefore, we investigate the beam directions that are less sensitive to range changes. As a result, we found that using slightly angled beam can provide more stable than using only simple anterior, posterior, or side directions. In summary, particle therapy is a form of radiation treatment with very low high dose concentration. This allows us to deliver high dose to tumor while reducing damage to normal tissues. However, it is also requires very precise control. Medical physicists are responsible for quality assurance of the treatment, also for research to achieve more effective treatment. I hope that particle therapy will become available to more patients around the world, including Vietnam in the near future. We also look forward to future cooperation and welcoming students from Vietnam who are interested in this field. Thank you very much. Come on for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Sakai. Please give him question.
So thank you for your very innovative technology. One question. So our clinic healthcare system, this year November, we have annual conference. We have two parts. One is the latest technology show. We want to invite your company to be supporter, like owner, supporter, and attend and bring your machines to Hanoi and show technology and train. Then, if possible, our female capacity will buy this latest technology. Is it okay?
There are many latest technology, cutting-edge technology in Japan, but the cost effectiveness is unknown. So I believe the latest technology is not always much to the national conditions, depending on the nation or countries. So please consult to experienced hospital, which is required, which is suitable in this country or in the hospital. Is it a correct answer for you?
So thank you, because you are right. So any technology in medicine is very expensive, we know. But through some treatment we have in Vietnam somewhere already. But your technology, I think, not yet available in Vietnam. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, if possible, I will send information detail to Dr. Simi Lu. And please, he will coordinate you with I, and please come to attend our symposium in November. But in detail, we can discuss with you later. Yeah. And your company, or something like that. Because we make healthcare system, it is the best private healthcare in Vietnam. We are always looking for the latest technology. Okay. So more detail later, we exchange by email.
Okay, thank you. This is one hour for me.
Thank you. Do any other has question?
Thank you, Professor, for your lectures. I actually like that you are a medical physicist and you are into quality assurance. So I'm interested in how to implement heavy advanced treatment around the world, knowing that there are a lot of countries and regions that are not developed and advanced into heavy treatment like what you're doing. So my question to you is, in your experience, how can we make this accessible? How can we make the heavy treatment or advanced treatment like radiotherapy, like what you're into, how can we make it accessible to the people around the world, like in rural areas or in developing countries where there is no much technology? How can we make it?
Because of my condition.
Can I use my voice? Okay. Then can you hear me? Okay. I said I'm interested in your role, which is medical physicist, and also into advanced treatment like radiotherapy. So there are several barriers that makes this treatment unavailable in rural areas and in developing countries. So how can we break these barriers in those developing countries, or how can we make this treatment available, accessible in those rural areas where there's no much technology or advanced treatment?
In my personal opinion, that to use this latest technology, not only the equipment, but also the patient, specialist skill is very important. Thus, we need to prepare the human skill development system is most very important. So, please make learning system or developing new specialist system in your country. Please make the system to make specialists. Please make the system to grow the specialists. Is it okay?
Thank you. Other question, please?
So I think not only developing countries, even in Japan, this kind of facility very limited, right? So if I am a patient, I want to treat my disease as soon as possible. So in Japan, how do you triage the patients? How do you decide the priority of the patient?
It is different from proton therapy and KBM therapy. Proton therapy is there are around 20 facilities in Japan. Thus, we can directly access to proton therapy facilities. However, heavy ion therapy is only 7. So all of them don't don't accept the patient directly receive the access those facilities. So the first, you must receive diagnosis from your medical doctor. Yes, please consult to the your doctor, and you please say to the doctor, I'd like to receive heavy ion therapy or proton therapy. Then the medical doctor consult with the particular therapy facilities.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Sakai.
Thank you.
So next, we are pleased to invite Assistant Professor Chitose Yohei from the Faculty of Engineering, Kyushu University, who will present from one molecule to two bright pathways, advanced molecular designs for OLEDs and imaging. Professor Chitose, please.
Okay, so thank you very much for kind introduction. I'm Kyushu Chitose from Kyushu University. So firstly, thank you very much for giving me this great opportunity for presentation in KYUDAI forum. I was born in Shimane Prefecture in Japan and moved to Hiroshima University and got the PhD there. And I became the assistant professor. And then later I moved to the Kyushu University 5 years ago. And now I'm mainly focusing on the synthesis and molecular design for the light-emitting molecules using the organic molecular systems, especially OLED and organic semiconductor laser, and also the molecules can be applied for the bioimaging. So today I want to talk about the state-of-the-art technologies using this light emission material. So first, let me start with a simple question. So what is molecules? So the molecule is a very small world consisted of atoms connected together. And although we cannot see them with our eyes, everything about us is made of molecules. So for example, water is a molecule, and medicine is also molecules. So even the DNA, which carries the blueprint of our bodies, is also a molecule. So the molecules are not just tiny particles, they are the fundamental unit that creates our life and function. So in today's talk, I will show you how we can design these molecules to create new optical function. So okay, first, when you think of the things that can emit the light, so what comes to your mind? For example, the smartphone and the television displays and the lasers, the bioluminescence such as the fireflies, and even the fluorescence imaging that is used to observe the cells for the medical field. In fact, all of these are based on the light-emitting molecules. So traditionally, these light-emitting technologies have relied mainly on inorganic materials. However, in recent years, we have a big shift in this research field. And the fact is that the organic molecules have attracted much attention as light emitters compared to the conventional inorganic materials. And by designing the molecular structures, we can precisely control the color and efficiency of the light. And this new concept is now challenging both electronic devices and biomedical applications. So why are the organic molecules so attractive. Generally speaking, organic molecules are composed of the nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon atoms. The organic molecules mainly have two key components, an electron donor unit, which gives electrons, and an electron acceptor, which attracts the electrons. So by combining these two units in a smart way, we can create entirely new functions. For example, when these two donors and acceptor molecules are placed into the device separately, they can convert the light from outside into the electricity. So this is known as an organic solar cell. In this process, light generates positive and negative charges, which are then separated and collected as a current. On the other hand, if we use the opposite principle, we design the donor and acceptor unit within the one molecular structure and then place into the device, and particularly OLED. In this system, particularly the OLED do not require the backlight, and unlike the conventional liquid crystal displays. So this is because in the OLED, the organic molecules themselves are the light source. And this enables the true black and extremely vivid colors compared to the conventional display technology. In this way, the organic molecules are like building blocks, such as Lego blocks. By combining them, we can design materials for solar cells and displays. The key advantage is that we can precisely design their properties at the molecular level. In recent years, the development of OLEDs based on the organic emissive materials has advanced significantly. For example, if you zoom in on an iPhone display, you can see an array of the tiny pixels, and each composed of the light-emitting elements in the primary colors, such as blue and red and green. So all LED devices consist of ultra-thin organic layers, as shown here, typically on the order of the 100 nanometer. So the OLED layers are extremely thin. It is about 1,000 times thinner than the human hair. And when an electric current is applied between the electrodes, so light is generated in the emissive layer in the center part. As a result, OLED achieved high color contrast and true black and high resolution, and making them a key technology for the next generation displays. Okay, so next, let's talk about the color of the organic molecules. One of the most fascinating aspects of the organic emitter is that we can change the color of the light simply by modifying the molecular structure from blue to green to red and even to the longer wavelengths, where the emission color can be precisely controlled through the molecular design. So in this case, by tuning the strength of the donor and acceptor unit, we can precisely control the emission color. So in general, as a pi conjugation length of the molecules increases, the emission color will be red shifted. So in other words, by designing the molecular structures, we can freely control the color of the light emission. And over the years, so various types of the organic emissive materials have been applied to the OLEDs. And the first generation of the OLED used the fluorescence material with an internal electroluminescence efficiency of around 25%, around here. And subsequently, the second generation introduced phosphorescent materials, which achieved 100% internal electroluminescence efficiency for the first time. However, these phosphorescent materials typically contain the rare metals, making them very expensive. So in the 2010s, the development of the TADF materials developed by the Professor Chihaya Adachi in Kyushu University and his team enabled 100% internal electroluminescence efficiency using the purely organic materials. So this breakthrough has opened the door to move more sustainable OLED technologies with reduced production cost. So when we see the molecular structure for each unit, the first generation fluorescence material have a very planar structure, whereas the third generation TADF materials have a very twisted structures. So there are big difference in their molecular design strategies. So in first and second generation OLED materials, it was very difficult to use 100% of the electrical energy using the purely organic materials. In this system, the energy is very splitted. The energy is very splitted into the two types energy state. One is the emissive singlet state, the other is non-emissive triplet state. So as a result, most of the energy is lost without contributing to the light emission. However, in the TADF material system, this dark T1 energy can be converted to the bright S1 energy, and which improves the OLED performance. This TADF mechanism enables the OLED to achieve the nearly 100% internal efficiency without using the rare metals. So now, next, let me introduce a new application of the TADF material. And so far, TADF material has been mainly studied for the OLED display technology. However, in recent years, it has also been applied to the bioimaging. So here is an example of the zebrafish imaging, and however, there is a major challenge in this field. So that is the emission from the cells. The cells naturally contain components that emit light, and this unwanted signal overlaps with the fluorescence from the organic emitter. So in other words, the cells emit light by themselves, and this becomes the noise in the imaging. So as a result, the imaging contrast is reduced. However, the TADF offers a powerful solution, and TADF emission is much stronger than that of the conventional fluorescence material. So as a result, the higher brightness of a TADF can suppress the background noise and allowing us to obtain the images with much higher contrast. So in other words, we can clearly see only what we want to see in this system. So therefore, the TADF is not just a light-emitting material, but also a powerful tool for reducing the background signals and improving the imaging resolution. So here is the conceptual illustration of the TADF materials. So by using the TADF technology, we can significantly improve the imaging performance in the medical application in the future. And so far, I have explained the conventional light emission technologies. So now, I would like to introduce the latest approach that I have been working on. So let me introduce another challenge in bioimaging. And as we have seen, the TADF enables high contrast imaging. However, there is still an important issue. So that is the cell damage caused by the excitation light. So most TADF materials are irradiated by the ultravisible or the blue light. So these types light, short wavelength light, have a very high energy, which can damage the cells. So in other words, they exhibited the phototoxicity. So on the other hand, the red to the near-infrared light has a much lower energy and is much less harmful to the biological system. And moreover, this near-infrared light can penetrate in the deeper part into the bodies, which is a major advantage for the bioimaging. However, so very few organic molecules can efficiently absorb this near-infrared light. So this is the biggest problem. So as a result, bioimaging using the near-infrared light is still difficult to achieve with conventional TEDF system. So the question is, how can we use the near-infrared light for the TEDF? So to help you understand it intuitively, so let me explain using this figure. In conventional imaging, molecules are irradiated using the ultravisible light, such as LED light sources. And these high energy photons can easily give the energy to the molecules, which allows us to observe the fluorescence in the cells. However, because the UV visible light has a high energy, it can damage the cells. So as a result, long-time imaging is very difficult. So on the other hand, if molecules can absorb the longer wavelengths lights, we can generate the emission in the specific locations. And this technology enables very high resolutions in the imaging and very cell-friendly imaging. And there's also the critical problem here. TEDF molecules typically have difficulty absorbing the near-infrared light. This is because the TEDF material has twisted structures. So on the other hand, the fluorescence material has a planar structure and it's very easy to absorb the near-infrared light. So we have to overcome this problem by modifying the TEDF materials. Okay, sorry, I'm finished soon. So the answer we found to this question was very simple. So I just combined the two molecular structure, TEDF and NIR absorbent molecules, and then I made this simple donor acceptor compound. And this keeps the moderately twisting, and also at the same time it keeps the planarity. So this intermediate structure we call the hybridized TEDF structure. It can give the NIR absorption. And experimentally, we found that it can give the TEDF emissions by using the 800 nanometer near-infrared light emission, light. And also, we include these materials to the OLED. We can get the higher performance compared to the conventional fluorescence materials. So let me summarize today's talk. So we achieved the dual functionality in the single molecules. So it's very challenging, but we successfully achieved these goals. And integrating this multiple function into the single molecules can remove the need for the separate material design. And we can achieve the more efficient development and lower production cost in the organic material designs. So that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Chitose. Do you have any question? Anybody have question?
So thank you very much for your very exciting presentation. So actually I don't have any questions about your presentation, but because your presentation looks so successful, so far. So my question is, what's your next study? What's the current program for you to tackle with from now on?
Okay, thank you very much for the questions. And now currently, we succeed to achieve the dual functionalities for the NIR absorption and OLED performance enhancement. But the efficiency is still not so high. So, for example, the absorption character should be increased more to avoid because if the absorption efficiency is low, we have to input the high photon energy even if we use the NIR light. So we have to increase the efficiency for the NIR absorption abilities and also the emission efficiency as well. So we have to precisely modify the structures. Maybe we have to use the theoretical calculations to predict, to find more efficient molecular systems.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any other question? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So, following the Professor's unit, so actually, many years ago we have LED technology. So nowadays we have OLED technology.
OLEDs.
So can you imagine maybe 10 years or maybe more? What is the next?
For the
yes.
After the 10 years, what is the next for the display?
Yes. Using this, we have a LED technology. Right? So now we have an OLED technology. So can you imagine what is the next?
Using this concept in the future. I'm also thinking that we can, if we design these molecules with more efficiency, both the NIR and emission property, we can change the near infrared light to these molecules, and this molecule can separate the charges, positive and negative. So then we can get the current like a solar cell, and in this case we can use the non-invasive light, and then if we can make very small organic layer, then we can place in some neurons, something. Then we can check the response, the signals, using the NIR light, and then we can see the signals, the charges, because charges is moving after hitting by the light. So this is maybe this technology will be some basic part for that application. So it's like a brain technology. Can be also the next generation technology. Is it okay for? Maybe I can discuss later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Assistant Professor Sylvester Yohei. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So our next speaker is Professor Onisi Shinji from the Academic Research and Industrial Collaboration Management Office, Kyushu University, who will present the evolutions of Japan's startup ecosystem, Kyushu University's perspective. Professor Onisi, please proceed.
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm Onishi from Kyushu University. I'm in charge of business development from university research result. So I'm not a researcher. My most career was business side. Okay, and I have let me share my yesterday's episode. Usually I have the tea, which is mushroom tea, and this is from Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry. This is transfer from university to industry. I had that. And I respect for this kind of a job because how to say, the transfer is not so easy because university is focusing the science, but commercialization is it needs more time, long time. But your university achieved the commercialization from research, so I respect that. And this is same as my job. Today I will talk about our challenge for creating a business. Okay, first of all, let me introduce today's university is changing. University is not only for education and only for research. We are becoming more active in society. We are also create industry. So this is a new role of universities. Okay, let me show some our alliance partner in the global. For example, in Taiwan, the university works with a science park. In the Netherlands, the university works with industry and government. And in the US and UK, university support startups and jobs. So they drive regional growth. In short, they are engine of growth and create innovation and job. This is a global trend. Now, I will explain our idea. We work on industry collaboration, but we asked a simple question: what is our goal, real goal? Our goal is not only collaboration with industry, but also we are aiming to get the impact to society. So we have to collaborate and create industry and job. This is our mission. We will use all strengths of the universities. Our asset are science, people, education, same as you. And we work with the local community together. We create a new industry. Okay, next. In our case, why did we create a company, subsidiary company? Why not stay inside this university? Firstly, I don't know, and I'm not sure the difference in regulations between Vietnam and Japan. However, in our case, under Japanese universities' role, particularly Japanese national universities' role, our activities were significantly limited. Okay, so we constructed the subsidiary of university since 2024 under university's governance and close relationship with Kyushu University. But we can get the 3 point. First is speed. We can move faster. And the second is people. we can hire professionals. And the last one is flexibility. We can act freely. This structure is very effective. Now we have around 60 members, and we also opened a Taiwan office. Okay. We also see strong interest. Before, we had 23 applicants, but now over 600 applicants we could get. This is a big change. And many Kyushu University graduates. Okay. We have 3 teams. Let me introduce the left side, the issue green team. This solves their problem from industry. They support joint research with company. And center team is science team. They use university research and they are technical transfer. And as one is vision-driven team, they try to build the future. So they collaborate with many stakeholders, industry and government, and sometimes they are local people. Together they create a new industry. Okay, this is our performance. In 2024, joint research reached $27 million US dollars. We created the 95 startups. This is a total number from university research result, except the student startups. And the license income is $1.1 million. We are growing now, but we still have a gap. Top 2 universities are ahead, so we need faster growth. The company structure helps us do this. We have 3 pillars, strengths. First is a wider network. We support many universities in our area. Second is CXO Bank. Over 900 business leaders. We can reiterate as a bank. And last one is Gap Fund. We continue startup creation. These drive growth. Okay. And one key program is PAX. It's called PAX. This is a national project, and we can get a huge budget. And 20 universities join. We support startups and education. And we also promoted a large demonstration event. And Kyushu University is leader of this project. And also we have another program is QUIC. It's called QUIC. This focuses on healthcare. We work with hospitals and researchers, and we support medical startups. And this program is, Kyushu University also is leader of this program. Okay. Anyway, another story. One big problem is business experience. University researcher has, we know they have a great expertise for research, but this is not business. So we connect them with readers. This is CXO Bank, and we already have 900 candidates. And we match, test, and build a team to achieve the startups. Okay, we now see strong startup results. Some companies already exist total value is about $1.2 billion, and we are building momentum. And right side is candidate to next exit. Anyway, not all research becomes startups, but many results are useful. So this is a different strategy. We use all assets of university, knowledge, people, funding, facilities. We support industry directly. Okay, here is one example. We already had the one company. It is EUV Photon. This is a subsidiary of our company, and our company is a subsidiary of university. It means, how to say, universities is doing the business directly. This is supports semiconductor analysis, and it works with company and university. It connects research and industry. This differs from a typical startup model. Rather than simply supporting ventures, we actively create and operate businesses ourselves. Okay, this is our vision. We have a three-step vision. First, build relationship with all stakeholders. Already my work done. Second is support project each other. Now I'm constructing. It's like a previous slide, EUV Photon. Third is build a global hub with aligning stakeholders. This is our roadmap. In the future, we try to create a knowledge town. People work near the university, and many alumni and graduate try to create their own growth-oriented job near the university. This is our vision and goal. Okay. From next slide, I will show the example. This is I believe that this is the possibility to collaborate with Vietnam and with Vietnam universities. Okay, this is already started for startups and named Kaiko. They use silkworms, and the silkworm act like small factory. We insert wheels into the silkworm, then it produces protein. This method is very efficient rather than a chemical approach, and this is also low cost. These proteins are used for medicine. They are also used for animal feed. On the right, you can see a real product. This product improves pig health. It also replaces some vaccines. This product is already sold. It is approved in Vietnam. So this is not just research. We already started the business. Next is also, today's example is all agriculture. We focus on efficiency and sustainability first. This is named the Sakumos. In Japanese is feed and plant. First we use nanoparticles. These deliver nutrient precisely. Plant receive only what they need. Because of this, we can reduce the input to 1 to 10. Second is the environmental memory. Plants remember stress conditions, then they become stronger. This strength continues to the next generations. So we can achieve three things: high yield, a strong plant, low impact. This is a shift from mass input to smart control. Okay. And this is another one major challenge. Urban waste is very large. Current program is hydro product is called this state. This is difficult to use because it contains more than 59% water, so transport is expensive, and the nutrient balance is unstable, and solid cause clogging. Because of this issue, it is not fully used. Okay, our solution is bio-concentrated liquid fertilizer. We process the liquid in 3 steps. It's like this. Okay. Oh, finished. Okay. I want to show the next program. Do you know golden apple snail? This is a serious pest in Asia, and it reproduces very fast, up to 8,000 eggs per year. Snail is tasty, but eggs are toxic. Current method is not good. Manual work is hard, and the technical approach is harmful to the environment. Our approach is electric and ultrasound. This is not no chemicals and less labor. And we want to propose cooperation in Vietnam. And we have several steps, and we try to go into the Vietnam market. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Onisi. Anyone please give him question?
Thank you so much for the very interesting topic. I have one question. What is the main policy mechanism for enhancing the cooperation between the university, industry, and government? Or according to opinion, which is the key factor for enhancing? Because in Vietnam, we also always have slogan. Let's sit down with the 3 partners: university, industry, and government. However, after signing MOU or something, activity is nothing to do or something, it's hard to start set up. So, according to opinion, which is the main factor for enhancing the real cooperation between 2 partners? Thank you so much.
I want to confirm your questions. Your question is, what is the reason to construct a subsidiary company? Is it correct?
I mean, it's when combined with the university and industry and also government. So it's been 3 main factors, 3 main partners. So which is the main factor to enhance the cooperation between them? Who is the key information in the cooperation?
Main factor. Okay. I want to check. What does it mean?
大学と、企業と政府なんかいろんなカウンターパートあるんですけど、ベトナムの場合はちょっと 例えばその MOU を署名したらもうそれで終わりと、何のその実際的なやることがそれ以降ないんですけど、何かこの系の連携を推進する時のキーファクターっていうのは何だと思いますか？だからこういうふうに成功させたり持続させたり。
This question is very important and a good question. So it is difficult to understand firstly, but I can perfectly understand. Okay, yeah, very important questions. First of all, we have to. In my case, we discussed before starting the real collaboration after MOU between government, industry, universities. How to say? We had the one vision in our region. It means of course, university's mission is research and education, but using the university's asset, we can we can support to create the new industry in our region, and university have to work not only by themselves but also with government and the industry to create the new industry in our regions. It means first step is we have to have one vision with them. Is it correct?
Thank you. So it's finding the company, the industry company with the university in the major the university is the best thing to do.
Yeah.
And how about the government policy?
Government policy.
Yeah. Need to support by money or policy maker?
Yes. For getting the budget from local government, we contracted with them. We contracted the MOU with them. The reason why we get the budget from the local government. Is it okay?
I think I forgot to, in my presentation, I forgot to introduce that Fukuoka City and Fukuoka Prefecture is very positive to promote this new business and entrepreneurship. So the local government, of course the national government, the Japanese government of course, but the Fukuoka local government, they have a lot of measures to promote this kind of collaboration. So that is why we have that parks. The parks is around Kyushu area. So they have very good policy support. Yeah, by now.
So you mean it's a set up environment?
Yes.
Between the government
and
the university and industry.
Yes. I think the environment or the infrastructure in Japan maybe very good managed. So they have several frameworks to let the university be a little bit easier to do this kind of cooperation and to keep it. Yes. sorry for
Thank you very much. I have a small question. First of all, to do startup, new company need facilities. So do the park provide facilities, for example, like
they can use the
apartments and instruments, etc.
Yeah. When the company, startups just started their business. Yeah, we know they don't have any facility and budget. Yeah, so nowadays, university and laboratory and researcher try to support to startups to, for example, to rent the facility or to transfer their knowledge.
Okay, thank you. So very similar to Vietnam. Now we also have a center in Hoa City. They also provide facilities for new company to rent something to do their production.
Yes. And because after succeeding the startups, the university gets more big budget.
More investment.
From startups.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Unisi. Our final presentation will be given by Ms. Dong Ting Ngọc Mai from the Department of Science, Technology and External Affairs, Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry, who will speak on growing up in Japan. Ms. Mai, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my great honor to be here today to share a short story about my 2-year journey in Japan. So, firstly, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Dong Ting Ngọc Mai. I'm currently working at the Department of Science, Technology and External Affairs at Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry. My master program starts from 2023 to 2025 at School of Agriculture at Kyushu University, and I belong to Developmental Disorder and Toxicology Laboratory under the supervision of Associate Professor Nguyen. I just graduated from Kyushu University 6 months ago. Even though it had already been 6 months, but everything still feel like just happened yesterday, and all the memories are still very fresh and clear and meaningful for me. Kyushu University is one of the top 5 universities in Japan. So one of my reasons to pursue my master program at Kyushu University, because that many college and many lecturers at our university are alumni of Kyushu University. So that inspired me to go to Japan and study at Kyushu University. And one of the reasons why is that I grew up watching the Japanese anime and manga. One of my favorites was Meitante Conan. I believe that many of you know that manga. So having the chance to study in Japan was feel like a dream come true to me, and feel like a personal dream for my childhood. I started my journey in Kyushu University in 2023. At that time, everything was new to me, new country, new language, new environment, and new academic environment. So I feel both excited and nervous at the same time. Language was also one of my challenges, because to me, Japanese were very difficult. I could not understand any Japanese at that time, and I also worry a lot about whether I was good enough to study in such a very serious and wonderful academic environment. And like many other students who study abroad, I also miss my family and my friends at home so much. But luckily, I had a great support from my supervisor, my professor William Sensei. He's very he always encouraged me and guided me in my research, and he's always told me that I could share any difficulties with him, even both in life or in study. But if you ask me what is the the biggest challenges in Japan, that would be pollen allergy. I read on the news that around 40% of people in Japan suffer from the pollen allergy, but I didn't expect that I'm also one of the 40% who also will suffer from that allergy. So at that time, I feel very uncomfortable. I also have many photos from about myself at that time, but I could not share here because it's very embarrassing. So even though that I love the spring in Japan so much because of the sakura, the flowers, the weather, but pollen allergy was very tough experience in Japan. But apart from these challenges, the rest of my journey in Japan was full of positive experiences. I had the opportunity to participate in interesting experiments. I attend many academic seminars and join the cultural exchange activities. I also met many friends from different countries: Japan, China, Malaysia, India, Indonesia, and which made my life in Japan more meaningful. And I also want to express my grateful to all the Vietnamese teachers, Vietnamese senpai, and Vietnamese friends in Japan. Every time I struggle with the study, the experiments, or I don't know how to pay the bill, or don't know where to buy something, I always ask for their help, and they always ready for helping me. So it's made my life in Japan easier and more wonderful. And one of the most memorable that I had in Japan were joining the local badminton club. Most of the members there were elderly Japanese people living near my apartment. They were very kind and caring. They always talk with me, even though I could not fully understand the language. But we use the body language to communicate with each other. So it made me feel very touched. And when I have to leave Japan, I feel very sad to say goodbye to them. And of course, I also had many chances to travel to different cities in Japan, meet new friends and know more about the Japanese culture. So overall, studying in Japan has been one of my most unforgettable experiences in my life. It helped me more independent, more confident, and more mature. So 10 minutes today is not enough for me to fully share all the valuable experience and all the lessons that I have learned from them. But however, I hope that through my experience, I could encourage more young people to go to Japan to study. And I also hope that I could contribute in a small way to strengthen the relationship between Vietnam and Japan. So finally, I just want to say that thank you, Kyushu University, for this event and welcome all to Taiwan City, and I hope that you had a great time here in Taiwan, and wishing you all the good health and happiness. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Mai. Do you have any question?
Student, you want to go to Kyushu?
From student. Question, please.
Okay, thank you for letting us know your experience while studying in Japan. So my question is, what was the most challenging thing while studying in Japan, and how did you overcome it?
The most challenges, right? Yes, as I mentioned in my presentation, the biggest challenges that I had in my experience or my journey in Japan was pollen allergy. Like everyone said that only people who live like a long time in Japan would suffer from pollen allergy. But it's only my second year in Japan I suffer from pollen allergy. So it's very tough and difficult because you know that I have many red dots around my eyes and sneeze, and I could not sleep, and I also always have to wear the mask when I go outside, so it's very difficult. That is one of the biggest challenges in Japan. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other one?
So, I'm curious to know what is the differences that you experience while studying in Japan, the educational sector, as compared to studying in Vietnam?
Thank you for your question. I think the language, of course, is different, and the lifestyle is also very different. I think people in Japan more introvert. It's like they like the quiet and don't like the noisy thing or like the louder. But in Vietnam we sing the karaoke even at night, and so I think the lifestyle a bit, but I think even though it's different, but I really enjoy living in Japan. It's very peaceful and very beautiful sceneries. The people is also very kind. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I must have one question for you. So, for example, if you have any special choice to study in Japan again, so will you choose to continue your further study in Kyushu University or other Japanese university?
Well, before I start my master program in Japan, I only have two options to apply for the environment agriculture major is Kyushu University and Tokyo University. But then I chose Kyushu University. So if I have the chance to come back to Japan to like study PhD program, I think it's to like go for Kyushu University.
Okay, so for now, I will try to remember your decision now. Let's see. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we move to the closing session. I would like to invite Dr. Dương Quang Thao, Director of Department of Science, Technology and External Affairs, Thai University of Agriculture and Forestry, and representative of the Vietnamese Association of Peace University Alumni to deliver a message on behalf of the alumni. Please, Dr. Thao.
Good afternoon, konnichiwa. My name is Thao. I work at the Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry. So I work at the Department of Science, Technology and External Affairs. In the meantime, I work as a lecturer and researcher at the Institute of Forest and Sustainable Development. Professor Shimizu Shuzi, Vice President of Kyushu University, Professor Onishi Shinji, Vice President of Kyushu University, Professor Harata Akira, Deputy Director General of the Kyushu University Institute for Asian and Ocean Studies, Associate Professor Nguyen Quang, Rector of Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry, Associate Professor Phan Trung Nghĩa, Vice President of Vietnam Association of Japan Alumni, distinguished professors and researchers from Kyushu University, respected leaders and colleagues from Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry, and also students from Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry, members of the Vietnam Association of Kyushu University Alumni, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As we come to the conclusion of the Kyushu University Forum, KYUDAI now in Taiwan, it is my great honor and privilege to deliver the closing remarks on behalf of Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry. First of all, I'd like to express my sincere and deepest appreciation to Kyushu University, especially for the Institute for Asian and Ocean Studies, for organizing this meaningful academic forum in Taiwan. I would also like to extend our gratitude to the Vietnam Association of Kyushu University Alumni for their valuable support and cooperation in making this event possible. Throughout this afternoon, we have had the privilege of listening to many inspiring presentations from distinguished scholars across various disciplines, including multidisciplinary information science, medicine, engineering, innovation, and carbon users research. These insightful presentations have clearly demonstrated the importance of interdisciplinary research and international collaboration and in addressing global challenges. For me personally, today's event carries a very special meaning. I had the honor of pursuing my doctoral PhD in agricultural science, specializing in forest genetics at Kyushu University from 2009 to 2013 at the Hakodaki campus, and now all moved to Ito campus already. I also had the privilege of serving as the president of the Vietnamese Youth and Student Association in Fukuoka. My years in Fukuoka remain among the most valuable and memorable areas of my life. And luckily, not the same with my son. I have no problem with Poland energy. Yeah. Kyushu University provided me not only with excellent academic training and research opportunities, but also with lifelong friendship and a deeper understanding of the spirit of international cooperation. Therefore, it's truly a great pleasure for me to see today's forum taking place here in Taiwan. This event represents not only an academic exchange, but also a meaningful bridge connecting scholars, students, and institutions between Vietnam and Japan. I strongly believe that the discussion and connection made today will lead to many new collaborative initiatives, joint research projects, and academic exchange between Kyushu University and Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry, and among KYUDAI's alumni in the years to come. Before concluding, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all distinguished speakers for sharing their valuable knowledge and insights. I would also like to thank all participants for the active investment and contributions. My special appreciation goes to the organizing committees from both Kyushu University and Taiwan University of Agriculture and Forestry for their dedication and excellent arrangement for this meeting successful forum. Finally, I wish all distinguished guests good health, continued success in their academic and professional endeavors, and a pleasant stay in Taiwan. I sincerely hope that our cooperation will continue to grow stronger in the future. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you very much, Dr. Thao.
Finally, I would like to invite Professor Shimizu Suzy, Vice President of Kyushu University, to deliver the closing remarks. Dr. Shimizu, please.
Okay, so hello again, everybody. So as all of you know now, that this KYUDAI now was the third time here in Vietnam. And we, Kyushu University, have had many KYUDAI now so far in a variety of countries around Asia and Egypt and something like that. So in total, we should have done this around 20 times. But I myself joined all the KYUDAI now so far. But this time, I found two things quite new and the very first time for me, which happened in KYUDAI now history. Can you guess what these two are? One is that during the forum, this venue was full of participants. And we, not only full, but we needed extra many chairs backside. So this is the very first time. In the party, we might have had many participants, but in the forum, before the dinner time, I didn't experience, the venue full of the participants, not for the over the capacity. Yeah, that's one thing which is so happy. And anyone can guess the second? That is the rector of the university joined us from the beginning to the very end of the forum. Usually, the rector made opening remarks, and because he's very busy, he or she is very busy, they go away, But Professor Nguyen, stayed us very end, and now with us, and precisely speaking, there is one other rector who joined us whole period. But special with Dr. Nguyen is that he made a question to us. Okay. So yeah, these two are so surprising to me and happy things to me today. But as you all are aware, that this symposium not only for us to meet each other and enjoy the presentation. Our goal is to enhance our relationship, So we need more and more human exchanges and more research collaborations, and we need more kind of startups together or kind of business industry collaborations as well. So we do hope that we will go ahead and make a step forward for the kind of second stage and next stage together. Okay, today's this symposium is so successful, and I myself and same to you are very satisfied. But I have to express my sincere appreciation to many people to make this forum come true to be a very wonderful one. The first is that, of course, Nguyen University of the Agriculture and Forestry for all the support, especially for the Professor Tao and Ms. Mai for the supporting us from the very beginning of the planning of this forum. And the Vietnam Association of the Japanese Alumni, and not only for the presence to this forum, but again, giving us a beautiful flower on the stage. Thank you very much. And needless to say that the Baka, actually Baka may not be a good name because the Baka means a foolish in Japan. But anyway, Baka, Vietnamese Association of Kyushu University Alumni, especially Datsun, also the very supportive cooperation from the very beginning, every time for the through 3 times of the symposium, and Ms. Tristan, very energetic and great support always for many things. And it was kind of surprise for me that these two persons was MC today. And thank you very much for playing a role for this, and that is the one reason why this symposium went so smoothly. Thank you very much. And at the end, not the last but not least, of course, I'd like to say thank you to my colleagues, Professor Satomura-san and Sensei Seikun-san, for the hard work and make this really symposium wonderful one. So that's all my work, and I really want to meet you all next year at the 4th KYUDAI Now somewhere. We are not still know where, but somewhere in Vietnam. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Citizen. I remember the first KYUDAI Now in Hanoi. After very long time, with the dominance of online meeting, Professor said that every collaboration must be do after real meeting like KYUDAI Now. So that is the reason he brings KYUDAI Now from KYUDAI to everywhere in Asia, right? And thank you very much for this very connection event. Yeah. Thank you.
everyone. This concludes the Kyushu University Forum, KYUDAI Now by Nguyen. And thank you again for spending this afternoon with us.
So for those who have registered for the dinner reception, registration starts at 5:45 p.m. The reception will begin at 6 p.m. in the restaurant. We hope to deepen our connections while enjoying a wonderful dinner together. Thank you very much.